got you. We're a duo, so that's how we roll. And first of all, I just want to say thank you so much, Ben, for what you've created here. It's truly just special. And Brittany and I are so mission driven with what we're building in LiveGood. We are so not money focused and mission driven. And that's one of the things that we see with people in the industry. We've been in the industry now for 9 years, and we see people in the industry that are they just chase the next dollar, chase the next deal. And for Brittany and I, we see the bigger picture of what LiveGood will ultimately be. And for the first time in this industry for us, we're able to truly just have our cup filled with what we're doing here in LiveGood, because we're creating something just greater than ourselves for so many people. And that's something I want to talk about today is team, T-E-A-M. I've always heard that so we've been in the network marketing industry for 9 years, and I've always heard team, together everyone achieves more, but I've never actually seen it. It's just been a fun rah-rah slogan. Whereas the truth is in LiveGood, it applies, because what I do can help my team. What you do can help me. It just all around it applies. And how our compensation plan is structured, we genuinely have the together everyone achieves more concept, and it's not just a rah-rah statement. With that, what I'm going to be training on today is sharing your story and the importance of it. One of the things that we see when people struggle here is people will tell me, man, I'm struggling. Why am I? Nobody's, I can't get anybody involved. And I go to their Facebook, and I have no clue about anything to do with their life whatsoever. Like, I don't know them. It's just live good, live good, live good, live good, live good, live good, live good. So I say that to say this. I'm going to share my story with you, but you need to get good at sharing your story with other people. And over time, you're going to get better. But so for Brittany and I, we got started in this industry 9 years ago. I was a police officer. I had been doing that for 7 years at the time. I got into law enforcement because I'm a former foster kid who wanted to make a difference in the world, and I pursued that line of work. Brittany became a 911 dispatcher, and after 7 years with 3 kids, we're working opposite shifts, living paycheck to paycheck, struggling over money, fighting all the time, and our marriage is about to fall apart. And I found myself 9 years ago, this month, October of 2014, I pulled my squad car into my garage, and I sat there and I contemplated taking my own life in my garage that night. And that was my rock bottom that just made me think, you know what, something's got to change. And then in January 2015, I made a post on Facebook that I was looking for a way to earn an extra income. And someone shared with me, said, hey, you should look at what I'm doing. I'm in the nutrition space, made about $6,000 my first year with little time commitment. So that's what got us into this industry, was because we saw hope for something better, right? And so we pursued that. The company we was with, we did well there. It ultimately made some changes, and that rocked our world. And we ended up going to another company, and again, we not so great things. And that's what led us to LiveGood, because when we saw LiveGood, we said, this is the real deal. Nobody gets hurt here. Nobody. I don't have anybody stuck on an auto ship. I'm not front loading anybody with, big old packages that they got to be paying to be commission qualified and all that. So with that, I say that, and that's a short version of my story, but that's who we are, right? And what drives us is because we want to make a difference. And so I say that to say, what's your story? Are you sharing that with your people? And maybe you don't even use social media. I don't know. We do. We use social media to do that. But maybe you're doing that in person. Maybe you're sharing your story. People need to know your story so that they can know who you are, because that's how they're going to trust you. That's how they're going to trust you enough to take a look at this LiveGood thing, right? And so Brittany and I, people often ask us, when we first heard Ben and Nader talk about recruit 100 people in a year, I said, what if I do twice that in half the time? So just the other day, we actually recruited number 200 in 6 months and 1 day. And so I say that because, thank you. I say that because we feel like we're just creating something bigger, but here's why we were able to do that. Because my people, Our people for 9 years have known who we are. So because you can go to my Facebook and you know what I was doing today. I was moving my wife's gym from this house to another house. Yesterday, I was installing cameras at my new house with my little brother. And people know who I am by looking at my Facebook. So when I reach out to them and I say, hey, will you check out what I'm doing? They got 9 years of history of saying, well, I know Josh and Brittany. We know them. We followed them for a long time. So the biggest thing I would say, the biggest training tip I would give is just be very intentional about your people knowing who you are. And with that, Mama always makes sure she fills in the gaps. So.
I don't know, I have a lot. I was just gonna say, make sure you, when you're telling your story, be authentic, because people know if you are lying or fibbing or trying to be somebody that you're not. Like, don't think I need an elaborate story like Josh and Brittany's story to be able to help somebody. Just be who you are and share why you're doing LiveGood, why you want to achieve more in life, and people will be attracted to that instead of just trying to be something flashy and something that you're not.
Yeah. Yeah. So one more thing, Tracy, you always recommend books, so I had to as well. Hustle. People at the Top of the Mountain didn't fall there by Joshua Medcalf. I had to recommend. I've been reading that book, and Tracy, I'm actually coming for you on the leaderboard right now. I'm a target-focused person. I'm right behind you. So thank you. I'll pass it back to you, Ben. Thank you so much for having us on.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Josh and Britt. That was awesome. And I feel like I need to start sharing my story on Facebook more. I don't post nearly enough, maybe like once a year. But yeah, a lot of that stuff is powerful. And you're right, people relate to people. Josh talked about stories, sharing your story. I mean, facts tell. I heard this early in my network marketing career. Facts tell, stories sell. You can talk about how many grams of protein we have in our protein. You can talk about how many different ingredients we have in our super greens. But that doesn't mean anything. But when you tell them a story, this helped me lose 10 pounds. This helped me be able to get my metabolism where I need it to be. I'm actually pooping again where I have not stopped up anymore. I mean, whatever the story is, stories sell. People relate to that much more than, hey, it's got some great ingredients in there, right? So that's absolutely true. And one thing you said was pretty powerful, because it was one of the things that, one of Notter's selling points to me to try to get me to come do this, and that was nobody gets hurt. And he said that, and I'm like, that makes sense, you know? Nobody gets hurt. We're only helping people. And that was a big reason that this company even exists, is because Notter said nobody gets hurt. And I absolutely love that. So thank you for recognizing that. Great job. You guys are awesome. Congratulations, 200 members in personally enrolled members in 6 months. That is awesome. I'm going to get that book. You guys are awesome. You're invited back. Good job.